Welcome back, fam. I'm just here to do. I got to do it. Make this real short. I keep saying that, but uh, this is based on. This is something I just thought about, which is one of the things that I think is a misinterpretation of the Bible, and it's kind of like an age-old argument they used to have, and I think they're gonna. I think they're trying to bring it back about, is God a male or a female? And we got these gender wars going on, and this questions about sexuality and all of these things kind of just causing a bunch of confusion, causing a bunch of strife and everything. Well, I'm not really trying to get into that right now, that portion, but I just, it was just another one of my opinions and thoughts that I have. So this is about uh, men and women, males and females, and where I believe, how I believe their misinterpretation of what a man is or what a female is and where it even came from. Or, if God is a male or female, where it comes from, and how I believe the whole dynamics of gender is kind of it's been misinterpreted, which is why I think a lot of confusion happens and a lot of fights and discord and we starting to actually turn into something that I don't know where we're going. I don't see a positive end of what you can gain from it. So uh, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna try something different. Hopefully this works out. But I'm gonna try to explain something that I thought about, and hopefully somebody else get a different perception, or the same perception, or think about something differently, and I bring something to you new. So check this out. So as you can see, I got the yin yang symbol or the yin yang symbol. I think that represents one of the best representations of what I want of how I explain masculinity and femininity. I think a lot of times men and women are, as far as reference in the Bible, that they refer to as male and female. Instead, I think it's a misinterpretation and should be interpreted as masculinity and femininity, or masculine and feminine. But for me to simplify what I believe, what masculine and what feminine is, I say masculine is push and feminine is pull. They're natures. They're not things, or they're not genders, they're not sexualities, they're natures. And when God made Adam, he made Adam like himself, which means that God, he himself, is not a male or female, but he is complete or whole or balanced, and he is masculine and feminine. So let's just say that the black will be masculine, right? Or the black will be push, and the white will be feminine, or the white will be pull. Now, notice something about both symbols. They also have a little bit of each other in the other. You see the little dot is white in the black, and a little black dot in the white, which means that they were both one. But when you took them out, you didn't take everything out. So stop saying this. You will never understand me. You're not a man. Well, I still have a level of femininity in me, and you still have a level of masculinity in you. But instead of thinking of as a feminine action, but you think of it as testosterone and estrogen, because that's what happens when the flesh manifests that nature. The flesh manifests that nature, and a more masculine nature in that body will produce more testosterone, which will create what we call a male, and more feminine nature in that body will create more estrogen, which is what we call female. Now, you see, when God created man, he created him like himself. So that means Adam had masculine and feminine. He was both masculine and feminine at the same time. He wasn't necessarily just a man. He was human. He was what we call human, when they call him a man or human. But he didn't have a gender yet, because he was just created, but he was both masculine and feminine, which would kind of bring the question: people who are born with both or no genitalia, are they closer to what the original Adam was? Huh. I don't know. But let's move on. You have masculine and feminine in Adam. But when God put Adam in a deep sleep, he took out femininity, but he took out the majority of the feminine, but he left the majority of the masculine. So now we have an imbalance. And I think the imbalance is what causes us to be agender. The imbalance of testosterone to estrogen make me a male. The imbalance of estrogen to testosterone makes a woman a female. And those natures also attract each other. You know, we like to think of women as being weak. That's the wrong answer. One of the most strongest forces in the universe is a black hole. Not even light can escape that. So don't try to say that femininity is weak. And I know you said, what you mean feminine? Remember, I said femininity, the nature of femininity is pull. And what does a black hole? It draws everything unto it. It pulls everything into it. And it draws, I mean, whether you physical or spiritual, it draws into it. And think about a man, right? Men, what are we? We're drawn onto a woman. As far as a mother, we're drawn onto her. And that's how it is. But a man, if man is a masculine person, is pushed, they're aggressive, they're loud, they're forward. So these two natures can be attractive to each other, right? When we think of people coming out and think about, and this is not an attack on black women, but they say black women are one of the last to be wanted, one of the last to be asked for marriage, the least likely to be requested for marriage amongst the globe. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that throughout a lot of these previous decades, a lot of black women have adopted that notion of I don't need a man and I do both things and I am his father, I'm everything. And she's starting to take on the masculine features and that masculine nature. And I don't care what you say, you have a body for sex, but your nature does not draw on masculine thing. You're masculine. They repel. So most men are not drawn to you to want to become one except for just sex because your body still is what it is, especially when they're being built. But your nature is masculine. It's repelling to another masculine male. So we have a problem. And then we got some of these guys coming around. Remember, they've been taught to be gentle into their feelings, soft. So you have a lot of feminine men. And I'm not talking about gay. I'm talking about heterosexuals, but they're still feminine. So a lot of these women are not attracted to that kind of guy, no matter what he is. But the thing is, once you stay natural, your natural femininity will draw a natural masculine man, masculinity. And notice something, God created by being masculine and feminine. Adam had to be masculine and feminine. That's why you took out a woman. He took out the feminine. And when we come back together, only the male and female can reproduce and bring life into this world again. Only they can. Now, you can choose to be masculine. You can choose to be a masculine woman. You could choose to be a masculine male. You could choose to be a feminine woman. You could choose to be a feminine male. Remember, those are natures. But the thing is, your body, your flesh will start to manifest it, but you can still choose to be so. I'm not here to discuss or argue about that. I'm talking about the nature of the thing. The nature, masculinity is push, femininity is pull. If you operate in the natural nature of the thing, that's what you will get. And only those two can, as a duplicate, when they come together, they reform the picture or the nature of what Adam or God was, who was the original creator. This balance or imbalance, the two natures, are so much so that even in homosexual relationships with the lesbians, gays, but you notice they still try to rebalance it, right? Somebody still has to be the masculine. Whether you show it outwardly or not, somebody has to take on the masculine nature. And the other has to take on the feminine nature in order to even try or attempt to duplicate that of which is natural. So it's not a question of whether it's right or wrong. I'm not here for that. That's a different topic. Right now, I'm just talking about the misinterpretation of what it is to be a woman or what it is to be a man. Neither are weak. You can have a weak individual whether they're masculine or feminine. But the nature of the individual usually shows itself, right? And that is what's important. The nature, how when somebody says you're natural or unnatural, is depending on how close they are to being close to the nature of the thing. But you can make it very simple, and I say that femininity is push. That's its nature. So you can see it and recognize it all over the place, not just in people and how they act, but even in how they talk. And the mannerisms start to show also, not all the time, but sometimes. But also with a man. A man is should be masculine. And I say should be because a male's body will reach its optimum potential of performance on this planet if since it's built to operate in with masculine nature. And a woman will reach her optimum performance on this planet, and I say performance because of what she does with femininity, if she's in the feminine nature. So choose what you will. I just want to say something. I want to say thank y'all, everybody who does watch my videos. You know, you didn't have to be here, and I thank you for giving me the time. Hopefully, I'm bringing something, just something else to think about. Maybe we strike up conversations in your own circles, and ask questions. One of the things I want to point out right quick is a lot of the time, even in future videos, what you're going to see is me. I may ask questions, and sometimes I may even play what they call devil's advocate. It's not, everything. I don't believe everything is the answer. I just believe it's an answer, and I'm just bringing you one of the answers. Hopefully, it's a better answer than what you already had. But if not, that's why that's what the comments, the dialogue in the comment section is needed for, to create conversation. That way, we can come to an agreement and be on one accord, and maybe even be able to teach each other something you never really thought of, and it may increase us on a whole new level as a whole. Anyway, thank you. Of course, I'm gonna say it again, get a little bit of housekeeping going on. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can see when I put a new video. I may be changing it up. No, I will be changing it up and trying to add and improve and progress and evolve this channel into something more interactive, but for the time being, I'm just trying to get a lot of ideas that I had out and see if people agree with it, if they can vibe with me. I get enough followers, I get enough views and enough conversation going on, then I know I can keep going and actually make it and go to phase 2, of this project. But anyway, to everybody, as usual, peace be unto you and be blessed.